The CPI reports have come out this morning, and this could have significant impact on the price of crypto. In the last couple of weeks, there have been many big stories that have major effects on the crypto price. Of course, there's war going on in Europe. We have worldwide governments urging exchanges in crypto to block certain wallets. And even though the US government recently has come out pro-crypto, the speculation about what regulation could look like moving forward has some people wondering, is crypto the future? Now this morning, CPI comes out as well, and it adds only to this plate of uncertainty about the future of crypto's price. This morning, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that our inflation rate of the US dollar has hit 7.9%. This is higher than what a lot of people speculated of a percentage of about 7.5. There are a couple of misconceptions about what actually has contributed to this number. For example, a lot of people believe that it is a reflection of what we see happening in Russia and Ukraine, but unfortunately that war did not start until the end of February, whereas this report coming out dates back to the beginning of February. We might not actually see the true implications of what that war has done to the inflation of the US dollar until the March reports come out in April. To alleviate some of the confusion about what a CPI is, let's look at the actual definition given by Investopedia. The Consumer Price Index is a measure that examines the weighted average of prices of a basket of consumer goods and services, such as transportation, food, and medical care. The CPI is one of the most frequently used measures of inflation and deflation. To give you a picture of what this is, the Labor Bureau Statistics actually gives us a report individually on what different items have gone up with inflation over the last 12 months. For example, gasoline is up 38%, whereas fuel oil is up over 43%. Again, there's a lot of complicated things that go into the CPI. However, what you need to know is it is the calculation of a lot of consumer goods added up, and the number that has come out now here in March for the tracking of February is 7.9%. So now, why is it important that this is such a high number, and how will this affect not only you personally, but the crypto space as a whole? Let's start by examining what the Fed is doing right now and why it is involved in this process. The Fed has what is called a dual mandate, and that is two different things that they're focusing on at all times. The first is price stability, another word for inflation. They're tracking what's happening to the currency and if it is maintaining stability. The second is maximum employment, or a lot of people like to say we're looking at the measurement of unemployment. According to Bloomberg, we've actually seen an uptick in 678,000 new jobs, with the unemployment rate lowering down to 3.8%. This is nearing pre-pandemic levels of unemployment. So since the Fed doesn't have to worry that much about unemployment at the moment, their eyes will shift over to the price stability of the US dollar. And what they're seeing is an uptick in inflation, 7.9%. Now, there's a meeting that the Fed will have on March 15th and 16th to decide what they should do to fix this, and more than likely it's going to be an interest rate hike. Now, in reports of the past, we've seen them talk about maybe a level of 0.25% increase, but could that be risen all the way to 0.5 or even 0.75%? So to kind of boil up where we are at the moment, we see this inflation probably leaning towards an increase in our interest rate, and we need to break down why that is so important to your crypto holdings. When interest rates rise, we tend to see a cause and effect happen. What that is that the interest rate goes up, and therefore the incentive to borrow US dollars ends up going down. When there's a lowering incentive of borrowing US dollars, that means the supply of US dollars is going to go down. And when the supply of US dollars goes down, that means every single dollar's demand actually upticks. What happens when the US dollar has increased demand is that the purchasing power of each dollar goes up. And when that happens, people are less likely to take that and put it over into the markets, such as stocks, commodities, and crypto. And even though a lot of you know that crypto and stocks are completely different things, the world tends to see them as almost the same thing. So until we see a major split between the two markets, when we see the stocks take a decrease, such as we can sometimes when the interest rates go up, crypto is more than likely to follow. So wrapping that all together, when the interest rates go up, we tend to see the purchasing of stocks, cryptos, and commodities go down. Now, before everyone goes and sells all of their crypto to hold more US dollars, I want to remind you, this is simply a price variability. There are lots of them out there in the market, and this one just so happens to be bearish. Other things on the technicals and the fundamental aspects of crypto still show us a bullish future for crypto. However, we have to take all these variables together to make informed decisions. A lot still needs to come out. First of all, we need to wait for what happens in that meeting on March 15th to know what the Fed is actually going to do. However, we do want to prepare you that this could potentially have negative implications not only for the stock market, but for crypto. The last thing I'll say is that we have been looking for a while for crypto to go ahead and separate itself from the stock market, because those of you who have educated yourself on the wins of crypto and all the pluses know that these are two completely different fields. However, as it stands right now, this second, the markets seem to move together, and more often than not, we see the trends of higher interest rates leading to lower markets. There is so much more that goes into this story, but I wanted to help you guys better understand what you're looking for when you see CPI numbers coming out. Let's stay tuned next month to see if there's any new updates on the CPI.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.